Live TV feels safe until something slips through the cracks.
Pushing feds to... I'm not feeling very well right now, and I'm...
Exposing strange glitches, eerie figures, and people behaving as if something else was controlling them.
Gloria and those fire crews are still out here right now trying to...
These moments weren't staged. They happened in real time, and millions watched, but nobody could explain them.
Needs a little help right now.
Hey.
A family was watching a live news report when something truly bizarre happened to one of the anchors. Right in the middle of the broadcast, the anchor's face distorted. At first, the family blamed their TV, but every other anchor on the screen looked perfectly normal. Then the distortion struck again, proving it wasn't the signal. It was him.
That's why I said I can't believe I'm running in here.
Why viewers giddy now that they get to ask all these great questions. Jen.
They were convinced the anchor wasn't human at all, but a synthetic clone whose face had malfunctioned under the studio lights. His appearance was so perfectly made that without this glitch, no one would have ever guessed the reality. The real fear isn't watching the news. It's knowing the person delivering the truth might not have a real human face at all. Spirit lift. A strange event was caught on the Breakfast Club program on Club TV during a live discussion. As the journalists were talking, a newspaper lying calmly on the table suddenly shot into the air, as if an invisible hand grabbed it in anger. The hosts were shocked by what they had just witnessed. There were no wires, no magnets, no crew members nearby. Nothing that could have caused it. This shocking moment shows that some spirits don't stay silent. If they want attention, they'll interrupt live television without hesitation.
Wow. Seriously.
Reptile slip. During a serious official conference, a powerful man made a movement that stunned everyone who later saw the footage. For a brief, unsettling moment, he stuck out a long, unnatural tongue. No human doesn't live right. It looked more like the tongue of a reptile. The cameras captured everything, fueling a popular belief that he wasn't entirely human. The media said this was a reptilian being, or a malfunctioning clone, failing to stay in control. The next time a politician speaks, watch their mouth closely, because their mask might be seconds away from breaking. Forced shutdown. A Canadian news reporter was giving a live update, but things took a wrong turn. She struggled to speak and looked like she was about to collapse on camera.
After the day, families are pushing feds to...
The channel later called it a medical emergency, but viewers noticed the moment felt anything but normal. Some believed she was being possessed, but others whispered a darker idea. They claimed her earpiece might have delivered a sudden shock, stopping her from sharing information she wasn't supposed to reveal. It looked less like an accident and more like a forced shutdown, as if someone in the control room didn't want her message reaching the public. Controlled behavior. Did you see the public conference of FBI Director Kash Patel? If yes, then you must have noticed he was recorded acting in a way that instantly raised suspicion. He kept placing a pen back and forth in a repetitive loop. His facial movements looked weird and unnatural. Even he tugged at his tie, as if something underneath was bothering him. None of it looked normal for a live conference. Viewers online began claiming the director wasn't acting like a stressed human at all. Many believe he was either controlled by an unseen force, or that a reptilian entity was struggling to hold its human form together under the bright cameras. Well, it shows people standing behind microphones, making world-changing decisions, might not be human in the first place. Clone pause. What if your favorite rapper isn't exactly who you think? During a public interview, Eminem was caught on camera doing something truly unsettling. Mid-sentence, he suddenly froze completely, staring blankly into the camera as if a robot had shut down, or a human clone in real time.
Stay out of my head.
After a few tense seconds, he blinked and continued speaking as if nothing had happened. Watching this, you can't help but wonder how many times in interviews have we been seeing someone who isn't the real Eminem.
Good to see you. Saying thank you. Thanks, Ed.
Forbidden signal. At a live inauguration event, Eric Trump was filmed forming an upside-down triangle with his hands, the same shape linked to the Illuminati pyramid. The gesture was clear, deliberate, and instantly caught on camera. But the unsettling part came next. His wife, Lara Trump, quickly tapped his arm and told him to stop. He dropped his hands right away, as if she stopped him from revealing something he shouldn't. Lara acted like a silent handler, stepping in before the symbol was exposed too much. The power he and his family hold might be the result of a dark pact, one tied to selling the soul for influence and control. Silent signal. When the leader of over 1 billion people suddenly moves his hand, the world notices. During a crowded public event in Vatican City, Pope Francis lifted his hand in a strange, open gesture, one that didn't look like his usual blessing. Just seconds later, a staff member rushed in and quietly guided him out of the camera's view. The clip spread fast, and so did the theories. Some said it was simply his last blessing to the crowd, but others whispered something far more disturbing. They claimed it wasn't a blessing at all, but a silent signal, a warning about an unseen threat to the world. From the way he was taken away, it felt like the message was cut off before anyone could understand what he was really trying to say. Serpent voice.
That's right, Gloria, and those fire crews are still out here right now trying to...
A news reporter was giving a live update when his voice suddenly shifted into something terrifying. Her voice was a reptile-like growl, nothing close to a human voice. The distortion was so sharp that viewers instantly felt something sinister had slipped through. It wasn't a technical glitch. It sounded like the true voice of something hiding inside him. This moment showed reptilian beings using human bodies as disguises. They are controlling the information we need to know. Mask slip. Forget voice glitches. Sometimes the disguise fails so fast that the truth appears in a single blink. A man watching a live news report was left terrified after capturing a shocking anomaly on a female anchor's face. Right in the middle of her report, the anchor's eyes changed for less than a second. In that small moment, her eyes stretched into a large, vertical, metallic shape, shifting from human to clearly reptilian before snapping back.
Sorry about these people ain't reptiles. Look at this Keep an eye on her eyes.
Secretary of State nominee Mike Pompeo to set up this meeting between him and Vladimir.
What was that?
The blink was so quick that most people missed it, but the camera didn't. This horrifying footage confirms the darkest theory. Reptilian shapeshifters have already made their way into the media, and their real faces show only when their disguise slips. Mind freeze. During the live show inside the NBA on TNT, the hosts were in the middle of their usual session when something bizarre happened to Shaquille O'Neal. For a moment, the famous player suddenly froze completely still with a blank stare, as if every movement and thought had been switched off. He stayed paused for a terrible second before abruptly blinking and snapping back into conversation, as if nothing had happened.
But in the moment, in the magnitude of what this is, to close out to be playing the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA Finals, to say, no, we're going to play one more game.
Viewers immediately believed they had witnessed a mind control glitch or a secret program that had momentarily shut him down on live TV. What do you think? Comment down below. Nightborn variant. A segment on the Tyra Banks show introduced viewers to Don Henry, who calls himself a real-life vampire. The interview quickly turned unsettling as he shared strange details about his body and abilities.
Like we're not vampires.
Correct.
When you're a little boy and your teeth fell out, those teeth come in, like how my molars came in. Let's see them. Oh, they're filed out. Gosh, I'm looking at you on the monitor. Put them on face. Wow, you look scary.
Tests on his blood came back inconclusive, showing unusual pathogen levels and higher than normal glycemic readings. Shockingly, electronic body fat scanners sometimes registered him as almost air, even though he's fully human in appearance.
The first kind would be considered a blood feeder. The definition would be called a sanguinarian. The blood is a rudimentary means of being able to transform the life force energy per se.
At just 125 pounds, he can bench press over 400 pounds and perform leg presses with incredible strength. This footage leaves a haunting question. Is this man simply extraordinary, or does he possess abilities that go beyond human limits? Watching him in action, it's hard not to wonder how much of him is human and how much is something else entirely.
Okay, and then the third type is the hybrid, which means both.
Yes.
Which type are you?
I am a hybrid.
Help! A young woman was appearing on a live TV show to talk about her relationship, but something felt wrong from the start. Her body language didn't match her words at all. Viewers quickly picked up on something terrifying. Throughout the entire interview, she kept making a subtle, repeated hand gesture. The same universal signal used to ask for help without speaking. It wasn't nervousness. Well, it looked like a silent cry for rescue. The disturbing footage supports a chilling belief. People can be controlled, monitored, or threatened, even while sitting under bright studio lights. Strangely, this was the last interview of that girl, and she was not seen again. Mask glitch. During a recent interview, viewers noticed something deeply unsettling about Nicki Minaj. While she was talking, her facial expression suddenly shifted in a sharp, unnatural way, almost like a mask slipping for a split second. The moment was quick, but thousands replayed the clip frame by frame. For that brief instant, her face looked reptilian. Just like the officials we covered above, Nicki also added her name to the list of reptilian conspiracy theorists. For those who follow the reptilian elite theory, this moment felt like another crack in the illusion. Reptile reveal. It seemed like reporters around the world had it wrong, just like we discussed earlier. This time, viewers got a shocking glimpse that couldn't be dismissed as a simple glitch. For a brief second, the news anchor's eyes shifted, large, vertical, and distinctly reptilian, before snapping back to normal. How many times will similar incidents be labeled as a glitch? Incidents like this keep stacking up, and each one looks less like a mistake and more like a mask slipping. Reptilian beings hiding in the media aren't a theory anymore. They're becoming a pattern. Snow pull. A reporter was covering a ski event, standing in the snow, giving a live update. Without any warning, she was suddenly pulled to the ground, crashing hard into the snow.
So give us some bass.
Somehow, she stood up and, showing remarkable professionalism, continued her report.
Okay. We'll have more, but tell people the basics of coming up here and paying $7.
The news channel later claimed she was just taking a quick rest, but the footage tells a very different story. It looked like a powerful spirit roaming the slopes, one that doesn't want people to feel safe even in broad daylight. Coded exchange. When world leaders stop using words and start sending secret signals, you know something terrifying is unfolding. At a major international gathering, Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un were caught communicating in a way that looked anything but normal. While standing among other officials, the two leaders appeared to exchange coded taps and subtle hand movements, signals that closely matched Morse code patterns. People standing near them noticed it immediately, and the unease on their faces said everything. Whatever message was being passed clearly wasn't meant to be spoken out loud. Dark takeover.
Also,
a woman was speaking to a religious scholar on a live call-in show when something truly disturbing happened. Mid-sentence, her voice shifted without warning. It dropped into a deep, rough growl, so unnatural that anyone listening could tell she was no longer the one speaking. Sensing the presence of a jinn, the scholar began reciting Quranic verses right there. The dark voice went silent at once, as if it was being pushed back. Moments later, the woman's normal voice returned, and she continued with her query. People say jinn can come close when you're listening to it, so you keep the volume low, just in case.
Also, when...
Serpent glimmer. During the interview, Speed's strange eye movements caught everyone's attention. Millions began studying the frame, and theories spread fast. People tied the moment to the Reptilian New World Order theory, claiming his eyes shifted in a way that matched the alleged reptilian blink caught on other public figures. Others insisted his meteoric rise, non-stop energy, and unpredictable behavior hinted at something even stranger, that Speed might be a programmed clone created to entertain and influence the masses. Of course, skeptics dismiss the whole thing as nothing more than a video glitch. One thing is certain, this single moment only added more mystery to Speed's already chaotic online presence. And with theories growing louder every day, the internet isn't letting this one go anytime soon. Voodoo influence. We've all watched games where a team is winning, and then everything suddenly falls apart. This footage might explain why. A fan in the stands was caught on camera pinching a small voodoo doll while whispering strange words under his breath. It looked like a dark ritual happening right in the middle of the crowd. Moments later, one of the key players began to collapse, looking unwell out of nowhere, and just like that, the leading team started losing. The timing was too sharp to ignore. Whether it was real black magic or something else entirely, this moment left a chilling thought behind. Unseen forces might be deciding the match long before the final whistle. Mechanical secret. This official was giving an interview, and the strange part was the huge eye patch. But things were normal as he spoke. He kept stopping, fumbling his words like he was fighting to stay in control.
And time after time again, we keep seeing this consistent problem with two systems of justice.
After this, that eye patch immediately drew attention. Viewers said it didn't look medical at all. It looked like something meant to hide a damaged eye or a broken part underneath. To them, the patch was covering a failed piece of machinery, suggesting the official was a robot sent by higher authorities. Was it a man who just got nervous with a medical issue, or a robot? You decide. Ball glitch. In a football match, the famous singer Nicki Nicole was asked to pull a giant dice for a fun live segment. But the moment she touched it, something impossible happened. The football lying right beside the dice vanished instantly, as if it had been deleted. And in the same second, one side of the dice changed its pattern from dots to stars, right in front of thousands of people watching. Fans didn't film a trick. They captured a simulation glitch happening in real time. If a ball can disappear and symbols can rewrite themselves in real time, then maybe our world is not as stable as we think. The real fear isn't ghosts or monsters. It's knowing that anything around you could vanish the moment the system decides to glitch again. Hidden shield. In a public event, The Vampire Diaries stars Nina Dobrev, Candace King, and Kat Graham were enjoying the moment when everything suddenly went wrong. A massive stage backdrop collapsed and crashed close to Nina Dobrev. In a split second, Kat Graham rushed to save her. But as Kat moved in, the falling structure dropped right toward Kat's side too.
It was one of those things where I was like, well, if I didn't know what it was...
Her quick reaction showed the strength of their bond, yet many people believe something else was at work that day. Some say the near miss felt too close, too perfect, almost as if an unseen force stepped in to protect them. Because the real fear isn't the falling backdrop, it's realizing how many disasters are stopped by things we never see. Jinn surge. A man was watching a live TV lecture by a religious healer when something terrifying occurred. In the beginning, everything was normal. But one of the men from the audience started acting unnaturally. His movements became strange, his voice producing harsh, inhuman sounds broadcast to thousands. The jinn had taken control. The real fear isn't just witnessing a possession, it's knowing that the moment might come for anyone. And only the power of holy words can force such dark entities to reveal themselves. Watch closely, for the unseen is always closer than you think. Grim Reaper.
All while dressed as the Grim Reaper, and I'm actually joined by him now, why he's here and why he is dressed the way that he is.
Remember the May 2020 footage of a Grim Reaper on a Florida beach? It sparked panic at first, but after our research, we uncovered the real truth. Worrying, but for the right reasons. The figure wasn't supernatural. It was a man dressed as the Grim Reaper to protest the early reopening of beaches. He wanted to warn the public that gathering in large crowds could worsen the spread of the virus and delay recovery. Even after knowing the truth, the image of the dark, looming figure walking along the sand stayed haunting. For a brief moment, the beach seemed otherworldly, proving how easily fear takes hold when the unusual appears in plain sight. Dark Uprising. A priest was giving a blessing on stage during a live broadcast watched by thousands. Everything was calm until a woman suddenly rushed toward him and lunged at him with terrifying force. The public was in shock. People immediately understood the truth. The blessing was burning the entity from within her. She was for sure possessed. It thrashed only because it knew its time was almost over. Sometimes the darkest things strike hardest when they're being pushed out. Spectral return. The most emotional moments in life can pull back those who truly cared, even from the grave. During the royal wedding of Prince William and Kate Middleton in London, cameras captured a moment no one ever expected. As the newlyweds stepped onto the balcony and waved to the cheering crowd, a faint, transparent figure appeared behind them. People believe it was the ghost of Princess Diana, a soft, hazy outline watching quietly, almost protectively. She was there to bless her son and his bride on their biggest day. Moments like this show that love and family bonds don't end. They simply cross into another world. Shaq freeze. Millions were watching the show, but only a few realized the truth. Something unnatural took control of Shaquille O'Neal right in front of the cameras. For a moment, the famous player suddenly froze completely still with a blank stare, as if he had stopped moving and talking. It looked like he was suffering a terrible mind control glitch, or a secret program had paused his actions. Another such moment proves that unknown forces are secretly controlling powerful people. They allow them to speak only what and when they want. Folder signal. A British chancellor was walking toward a building after a meeting, holding a bright red folder, when a strange moment was caught on camera. As he passed a parked car, the folder in his hand suddenly changed color, from red to bright green, in an instant, as if the button was there on file. The switch happened so fast and so perfectly that it couldn't be brushed off as a camera error. The video went viral, and people thought it was a coded message to a hidden agent, signaling that everything was under control and ready to be reported to higher authorities. This wasn't an accident. It was a deliberate signal for sure. Sky breach. In the 1970s, a local news channel was airing a live report when reality suddenly shifted. The reporter was mid-sentence when 3 massive UFOs appeared in the sky behind her. The sight caused instant panic. People nearby ran toward the street, trying to see the enormous objects with their own eyes, while the reporter rushed out of the frame in total shock. The crafts were huge, clear, and impossible to ignore. Nothing like the small lights people usually questioned. And just when the moment grew too intense, the live broadcast cut out, as if someone didn't want the world to see what happened next. This chilling, decades-old footage confirms that giant alien ships have been visiting us for far longer than we think. And the true fear isn't that they appeared, but that the world never saw what they did after the cameras went dark. Frozen smile. During the NBA playoffs after Game 2, something on live TV made viewers uneasy. Draymond Green was giving a post-game interview when his smile suddenly froze. For several seconds, he sat perfectly still, his face locked in the same wide grin, while the reporter and the player beside him kept moving normally. The expression didn't look natural at all. Maybe it wasn't just nerves or exhaustion. Maybe something else held him in place, forcing that silent pause while millions watched. Live TV has a way of exposing moments that feel strange, unsettling, and hard to explain. Program break. A strange moment unfolded during a routine political interview. A news anchor was calmly speaking with Nancy Pelosi when the conversation suddenly took an unsettling turn. In response to a tense question, she inexplicably said,
"Good morning. Sunday morning."
Repeating herself in a robotic, unnatural rhythm. Even the anchor was shocked to hear. The odd repetition and awkward phrasing made viewers uneasy. This wasn't just a slip of the tongue. The world speculated it was a brief malfunction, a lapse in control, or even a sign that something unseen was influencing what she could say. Window Phantom. During a major press conference of Barack Obama, cameras captured something far more disturbing than political tension. Right behind the window, over the president's shoulder, a chilling blue, ghost-like face appeared out of nowhere. The face was clear, staring straight into the camera with an expression that didn't belong to any living person.
Our military has positioned assets in the region. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs has informed me that we are prepared to strike whenever we choose.
The timing, showing up at the exact moment the battle was being discussed, felt too precise to be a coincidence. The powerful demonic forces or malevolent entities may be influencing world decisions from the shadows. The next time a leader gives a speech, watch the windows and the dark corners. You might see who's truly guiding global chaos. Ritual freeze. Kodak Black has long been linked to dark, secret rituals, and this video made those rumors even stronger. During a recording, he suddenly froze in place, unable to move or speak, as if someone had pressed pause on his body. First, it looked like it was just a mental slip, but conspiracy watchers saw something else, a moment where the ritual force was controlling him, as if he was trying to say and was not allowed to. Right after it happened, the crew quickly cut the scene and restarted the recording, almost like they were covering up a truth they weren't supposed to show. Rocking glitch. Your favorite celeb isn't responding well, and this moment proves why people still talk about it. During a New York Knicks game around 2007, Beyonce was caught on camera behaving in a way that didn't look human at all. For a few seconds, she was shaking strangely, swaying back and forth with a blank expression, almost like a robot running on low battery and struggling to stay active. Nothing about her movements felt natural. People still argue about what they witnessed that day. Was she simply unwell? Was it a clone malfunctioning? Whatever the truth was, that strange moment exploded online and eventually became the famous Beyonce rocking gif. Disc intrusion. Oklahoma City wasn't expecting any late-night drama, but a live news broadcast ended up showing it. During a regular live view of the city, the camera suddenly caught a fast, disc-shaped object racing across the sky. It moved so quickly that no aircraft on record could match it. Viewers watched it in real time as it crossed above the buildings and vanished beyond the horizon. People had already been reporting similar UFO disc sightings for weeks, but officials kept repeating the same line. Everything was under control. But after this, a sighting captured on live TV couldn't be pushed aside. And maybe the only thing really under control is the information being kept from the public. Screen deception. During a live broadcast in North America, the weather anchor was giving the forecast when something strange appeared on the screen. A spider seemed to crawl straight toward him, making him step back in surprise. For a tense few seconds, it looked real.
But it's the prolonged dry spell, and now we're going to continue with the dry spell and get the real heat. Whoa! Whoa!
But soon, everyone realized the truth. The production team had played a prank by showing a video of a spider. Even though it was just a trick, the moment showed how easily our senses can be fooled. Silent puppet. A leaked off-air video from 1992 captured a disturbing moment involving Bill Clinton, long before he became president. He sat completely motionless while a handler applied makeup to his face. His expression was frozen, his muscles didn't move, and he looked like a powered-down mannequin, only his eyes blinked, as if that was the only function still running. It was the kind of stillness no normal human could hold. To many conspiracy believers, this clip is undeniable proof that some leaders are not real people at all, but clones or programmed doubles kept running by trained handlers. And the chilling part? The person millions trusted to run the country looked more like a paused machine waiting to be switched back on. Stadium spirit. Crowds were cheering during a packed football match when a terrifying figure slipped into the frame. In the middle of the stadium noise, a ghost-like shape was seen rushing through the stands at a speed no human could ever reach. It passed behind hundreds of people in a split second, clear on camera, yet completely unnoticed by anyone sitting there. It was a spirit drawn to the massive energy of the crowd. To the football team, it was the spirit of the player who passed just the day before the match. Well, some players near missed their commitments even after leaving this world. Blink void. A news reporter was delivering a long live report on an otherwise strange story titled Invasion of the Hummus. But as the camera stayed locked on his face, viewers noticed something deeply unsettling. He didn't blink once. During such a long segment, going without a single blink isn't just unusual, it's medically impossible for any normal human. His eyes stayed wide, glassy, and perfectly fixed, almost as if he were running on a program rather than instinct.
With reverence and just a little fear about what the Spanish call the bean that is conquering the world, better known, perhaps, as the chickpea.
This eerie footage has only strengthened the terrifying theory that parts of our media may already be controlled by synthetic doubles, robot-like replicas still struggling to copy basic human behaviors. So the next time you turn on the news, pay attention. Count the blinks. You might realize the person speaking to millions isn't a person at all. It's time for today's open discussion. The real threat during a storm isn't just the wind or rain. It's the unexpected people who appear amid the chaos. The reporter was reporting live on MSNBC from Gulfport, Mississippi, covering Tropical Storm Ida when the broadcast suddenly took a chilling turn. A mysterious man rushed toward the reporter. He shouted aggressively at the cameras for several tense seconds.
Person who needs a little help right now.
Hey.
His intentions unclear. He stayed calm on air, saying, "We deal with some people every once in a while."
Because, we deal with some people every once in a while,
But he had to cut the report as the man turned back toward him. Viewers were left shaken, wondering what had happened behind the scenes and what that stranger wanted in the middle of the storm. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.